Good morning. Good morning. Coffee. Hey, Tom. Good morning. What's going on, Tom? Hey, tired. Yeah, I hear you, man. Hey, Tony. Anthony, excuse me. Good morning. How are you? Good morning. Yeah, I'm kind of. It was a long day. I feel like I got a lot accomplished yesterday, which is good. It's amazing what you can get accomplished when you really don't have a lot of distraction around. Hi, Tom. Hi, Anthony. I love when we greet each other. It's the best. I'm good, and Tony is okay. Also, most people call me Tony. Anyways, I'll call you whatever you like. Whatever you like. And if it's Tony, I'll call you Tony. I'll try to remember that. I take it, Tony. Just one thing I've said for years, only because people used to butcher my name and then take this whatever kind of attitude, and I hear that still so often. If I can't pronounce it, if I don't know what to call you, you know what? It doesn't matter. It's like, no, it matters. I think calling people by their name correctly is an important thing. It shows respect for the other person. So I'll call you as you see fit. So yesterday, in some ways, worked out really well. I was able to get all of my 3 appointments done in much less time than anticipated. So I got out of Boston in a reasonable time, which meant I missed outbound traffic, which I had really enjoyed. And the appointments were successes, which is good. Oh, man. Got home, took a brief nap before got ready. Then I did a little bit of house cleaning, and then we had a 2+ hour meeting for PatCon last night, which is good because we had a bunch of questions we needed to answer and get things squared away. So we're a little bit better prepared for the show, which is coming up in a few weeks. Sounds like it was a good Tuesday then. Yeah, I like. So one of my appointments, first appointment was a property assessment. We're in the middle of a fairly substantial outdoor AV project. So we just had to find how we're going to get our wiring to where we need to be. And we had to see what the phase of the construction we were in to begin that. That went very, very smoothly. And then today I'll be able to recap with my project manager, who was there for a good bit of it, but some more information came out as I stayed at the end. So that was good. I then went and did a quick system repair for somebody. And now we got to have a roundtable with the client about, we can continue to repair this, but there's probably going to need to be some changes. So I got to have a conversation with the client about that. And the last one was a new client. Have to see if assess the property and see what we want to do. See what he wants to do. We'll see. Otherwise known as it was a sales call. So, yeah. I got to tell you, I like productive days. I think it's I love the fact of being able to get things accomplished. So my wife, who knows me extremely well, she sees that when I get stressed, I need order in my life. It's like that's like the first and foremost thing that needs to get done. I need to have some kind of order. So normally when I start stressing out, that's when I start picking up and start cleaning up stuff around the house. And with it's a little different when I'm like on the opposite end of that spectrum now, kind of like the bench cleaning. It was like, okay, I wasn't stressed. It's just like I just needed to kind of get this thing done. Very, very productive. I did a pretty solid bathroom clean out last night. Just spent like about an hour just cleaning everything out in there, because there was time to do it. There's nothing else that was going to change that. So, and it was good, and it felt, I guess for me, a lot of it is, and it's when you, especially under stress, when you get things done, it always feels like a sense of accomplishment. The one thing I've always said, it's like when things go bad, like job shit sucks for both my wife and myself, when there's, when our kids are either pissing us off or there's something going on in their lives that's creating additional contention, or, the day-to-day stuff like finances and scheduling, personal stuff, when you got all of that shit going on. The one thing that I'm into is I need a sort of sense of accomplishment. There has to be a sense of accomplishment, right? That I do something, whatever it is, and then it's done, and I feel like I said, something got accomplished. And that, I think, is very important. I just realized I did cut a set of wheels off here yesterday, and I did not glue them together. So why don't we finish those wheels before we work on the wheels I just took off? You can take out the trash. Are you asking that question? I was lazy yesterday. I got nothing done somehow. Well, and again, there are days that feels good too. I'm usually like one of those guys, like I can't do any one thing. Like this is why, as an example of why I can't do, I could not make modeling my career. Because if I were sitting down here for 8 hours a day, because, excuse me, you have to put it in, it's work, right? Oh, I take out the trash. I'm the only one who takes out the trash. Yeah, the trash usually takes like 5 minutes to do. Get all the stuff gathered throughout the house, bin it, bring it outside. Easy enough. I did that too yesterday, by the way, because today is trash collection day. But like this is why it's I can't do one thing that enjoyable for the entirety of a day. Okay, I kind of lied. I did get a video edited and uploaded to YouTube, but it was slow going. Anthony, I gotta check out your YouTube channel. I'm assuming what kind of videos are you posting there? Fizz, what's going on, brother? Good evening to you. It's the same reason why I love movies, and if I had the the ability to just kind of like watch movies on a regular basis, but if like I've done movie double headers, double billing and everything like that, and by the end of that, it's like I can't do this anymore. I've got to go do something else. How do you do? It's all Gundam stuff. I'm gonna check that out. Notes to myself. Okay. There we go. Check that out later. Oops. No, I gotta find other stuff to do to turn. Even like being down here, I could probably put maybe depending on what I'm doing, but on a one shot, I might be able to do 5-6 hours down at the bench, and then after that, I got to go find something else to do. Well, got a kit year. Hi, Tom. Hey, Peter. Those days are long gone. Yeah. Oh God, yeah. Just staying awake for that. Hey, first of all, hey Peter, what's going on, brother? Yeah. But I've actually, Peter, I was actually thinking about this though last night. I am going to do it because I did get finally picked up from the library Sorcerer. So I am going to try to do a twofer with Sorcerer and Wages of Fear. Hit here. The MG Gundam Virtue from MW Ding and Dents. Ooh, buying a Gundam model. Yeah, I got to tell you right now, there is. I don't know if there's any gun. There's one Gundam model. I want to get the Gundam from RFV, and that's about it. There's nothing really else that's like, oh my gosh, I gotta have. Even the Psycho Gundam Mark II. Nice to sell them watch wages. Yeah, dude, I get it. The Virtue. I don't even know what the Virtue is, honestly. I watched TV for a whole day sometimes this year, saw 4 movies and a few YouTube videos. Yeah. I've watched, I don't know, maybe half a dozen movies this year. Stuff that I want to watch, maybe even less. Hey, Light. Good morning. How are you? I did watch I'm trying to get through the Handmaid's Tale TV series on Hulu. Looking forward to it being done. That's my daughter. She's like, okay, I'm going to watch this with you. Do you mind? So we started from season 1, and we got a couple of episodes in, and she's like, this is too close to home. She's like, I don't think I can do this anymore. I'm like, yeah, I get it. I feel the same way. And I stopped watching for like, I don't know, about 6-7 weeks. Psycho Mark II is a nice, but yet only one kit I need so far. The PGU new, yeah, it makes sense. Which is still sitting in my backlog, yeah. Experiencing a duality. Blessings. How's everyone? Experiencing a duality. What is the duality? Blessings. New is way overpriced unless I sell a kidney. It won't be in my collection. Yeah. I don't know if it's necessarily overpriced. It is ridiculously expensive. I mean, having bought the Dendrobium, which is that the most expensive? I think that's the most I've ever spent on a model, and likely the most I will ever spend on a model, because there's nothing, nothing that's really that critical. So nothing that's that critical. All right, let's get these wheels done. Yeah, the models I'm finding actually that I'm enjoying the most are trying to find like 1/72nd scale things, like armor and maybe a couple of planes or something like that. Not a lot. It's not really a lot. Price in Japan is affordable. The U.S. price is overpriced for sure. So 5 lead unit they are selling separately for. Yeah. Well, Bandai has never been inexpensive when it comes to their LED kits. Never. People there still average $900 a month. I don't know what does that mean? People there. You mean the monthly income, Tom? I was talking about Italian and neorealism a couple of meetings ago. So I watched La Ventura. Oh, La Ventura. That's on my hit list. Ah, God. Director. I'm spacing out on the director's name. Blame them tariffs. Yes, monthly income. Yeah. Hey, what's going on, Ken? Good morning. Yeah. See, that's the kind of stuff that I like to watch. Those are the movies that I like to watch. In fact, you know what? We may have to set up like a little coffee clutch amongst the filmmaking kinds, the cinema aficionados. Yes, that sounds snobby. I'm sorry, but it's true. The meaning of life has duality, hardship that is born to reward us and level up where we're going in the next life. It can be anything that seems small. It's burdensome. God compensates, even pinch. Yeah, to a degree. But you know what? At some point, there's nothing wrong with having a little less pain. Antonioni. That's it. Yeah, Antonioni. Yeah. That one's on the hit list. In fact, it's in my collection. I just haven't gotten a chance to get to it. You are correct, Tom. Tariff and import kills prices of a large kit here in the U.S. So you want to hold a SnobCon 2025? Yes. Let's put it this way. I'm just gonna go out on a limb. Okay. There's only so much watching action films that there's something unique to tell me. Most action films bore the ever living piss out of me. Now, it's just, I've seen it, done it. You know, when you're 60 years old and you watch an action film, it's like, yeah, this feels just like something else I've seen 3-4 times before, maybe more. Yeah, not interested. So yes, I would rather watch something that's a little bit more unique to a life that I'm not familiar with. So watching something like an Antonioni film, a Rossellini film, a Bergman film, particular Bergman, any day of the week. Watching any of the auteurs from the late 60s through the mid 70s, American filmmakers, yeah. And if that's snobby, I'm a snob. Hello everyone. Just want to say hi, and I am going to sleep early. Alrighty, Edwin. Good evening, my friend, and get yourself some rest. Have a good one. We'll see you on the flip. Hi, Edwin. And yes, the tariffs are a bitch. They are indeed. And something tells me it ain't going to get any better anytime soon. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think so. By the way, Tom, speaking of SnobCon, there is a film festival which I've attended a couple times up in Concord, New Hampshire, called Snobfest. It is Snob stands for somewhat north of Boston. My sister participated in that film festival twice. There we go. Okay, let's get back to these mold lines. They're aggressive. Do you think you tackle it, and then you look down closely later, and it's like, nope, I didn't. This one's fighting me right here. I feel like I'm coming down with something. Feeling something that feels like more than allergies, let's put it that way. I could be wrong. Heard someone compare Wes Anderson fans to Fast and the Furious fans with scarves. That's an interesting analogy. I think I should start standing outdoors. Not a bad idea. It will definitely eliminate dust. It's funny. What is it? Wes Anderson has a new film out. What's it called? The Bohemian. I forget the title of it. And I didn't know that. Again, unfortunately I've not been following a lot of the stuff that has been released recently. So I remember just I was working on something and I looked up. Kids were watching something and an ad came up for the film. And I'm like, and I look at the film and I'm just watching it for a little bit, and the sound was down and everything. I said, "My God, that looks like a Wes Anderson film." And my kids look at me and said, "Yeah, well, didn't you catch that at the beginning?" It's like, no, I can just tell just by looking at the art. Good morning, beautiful space noise. Good morning, beautiful Joe. How are you? Everyone stands in Texas. And some of us up here in the north, we stand for people in Texas. See, I'm doing this specifically. We can do a little of that. Just to give you, so this way Nick can see a little bit what I'm doing here. So he feels a little more involved. I will say it's the one thing I do miss about having the separate camera. And one of these days that'll come back again. As I feel sick, I will drink juice. If ginger is available, it is typically helpful. Honey is amazing always. Oh yeah, honey's great. Honey is great no matter what. Anyway, today's Wednesday, right? Yes, hump day. Hopefully everybody's having a good start to the day. I think mostly everybody who's here now is it is morning for them. Warm burners cures all. I don't trust anything that says it cures all. This always strikes me as a very snake oil salesman thing to say. This thing will cure everything. It's like Windex, even though that does work. Greeks made it up. That's why it works. Testing out your live stream for Warn now. I'm sorry, for what now? Testing out your live stream for Warn now. I have it on VDI with a dedicated video card. Before there wasn't a dedicated video and live would turn into a non-live. Oh, testing it out for work now. I'm sorry, before there wasn't a dedicated video card, okay, and the live would turn into a non-live. Again, maybe you're talking in computerese or something I'm missing, Tom. Can somebody translate, please? I appreciate that I can become demo material. That's kind of cool. Basically, see when a man loves a woman. Nice, Joe. This video was delayed, waiting on the bites to arrive, so I no longer watched what was actually happening, but what already happened. Got it. All right. So at some point, the video card will be so good that you'll actually be able to go into the future and see before I actually do something, right? That's how fast these processors are going to get. It's not that we have the anti-delay. We're going into the future to see what George is saying. Now we're using virtual workstations. So all the stuff we're on is virtualized, futurized, and virtualized. I have to search for a word to describe the similarity this channel has to Bob Ross. This channel? I wouldn't put myself into that kind of place. It is a positive world and more realistic too. No physical workstation, just a small term. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I get it. I get that, Tom. God. Galileo's lens, the theory on being able to see the bend in time. That'd be so cool. It would be like, I can't wait to see how AI generates future frames on the new NVIDIA. Exactly. That's right. Let's see what the future holds. NVIDIA, help me out here. Yeah, that's video performance is important. Yeah, of course it is. Hey, Mason, good morning. Good morning. No dedicated care live video is super delayed, which is bad for traders. Yeah. Oh, I get it. No, I understand. I understand the importance of speed to traders, which at the same time, I understand it. And at the same time, it's like the quest for speed is can't we just slow down just a fraction? Or as my boss used to say, money never sleeps. So I guess, no, can't. They talk about that in that horrible acting in the movie Paycheck, Ben Affleck. AI is good and bad. Yeah, fair enough. I agree. It is. There's some good, not a lot, but there is some good. Good for resumes and cover letters. No, it's not, because you're stealing other people's words. Pay somebody for it instead. If you need to have a cover letter written, why don't you just pay somebody rather than stealing other people's words? My new graphic card is so fast. It predicts the future before the future can predict the future. Right. I love it. Bad for everything else. Yeah, I would disagree with you, Tom. I'm not going to lie. Go to a website, either pay somebody for writing you something, or if there's a published cover letter that you can grab, that's fine. But using AI for it, no. Art, though, is more creative. Cover letters are generic, but you're still using somebody's words, Tom. Then, Tom, if they're generic, write it yourself. Sorry, you ain't going to get by on this one. Also, what it insists on is don't hand over your ability to write yourself and create. Yeah. So, without going into any specific details, I knew somebody whose job was to work with their marketing person, and their marketing person, everything they wrote for website development and everything was all done through Chat GPT, right? And it's like, if I'm paying you to basically steal other people's words and you can now save a lot of time, why do I need you? So you're talking yourself out of a job. So if you're hired into a certain position, don't do that. But did you watch UHF yet? Yeah, no, I have not. Then what is AI good for in your opinion? I think it's too new to really say. I honestly, I don't know. I don't know enough about what AI can do for us yet to really say that that I have a definitive. But I do think if you're taking anything of human creation, words, pictures, people, something that people have created, and you're copying that into something without the express, uh, without having other people kind of say, "Yeah, that's my stuff," and you're okay. I'm okay with that. Yeah, no. This guy usually using only GPT. I believe I heard something to that effect, but I don't know for certain. Let's say is not using the internet as a database. We have companies using AI, but only using data sources from within the company. Okay, so that might be something. Caught a news lead could have been mistaken. Yeah, I would want to verify that. Again, anytime I hear, guys, just so you know, I've said this before, and I'll talk about it specifically on Thursday nights. It's like I'd like to come from a place of knowledge. So if something like that comes out, I don't like hearsay. Never mind the water usage. Yep. We're doomed. Yeah, we're doomed. Well, what when we're just talking about this, we're turning all of this stuff over to computers, right? So humans are literally have created stuff that computers are now accessing to create and further stuff because humans no longer want to do these things. And we're talking about like writing, creating artwork. At some point, it's like, again, guys, one word, Skynet. It's kind of, think about it. Maybe that's an extreme example. Skynet. Maybe. Never mind the water usage. Yeah. The resources that go into it. Yeah, I agree. So, is there a place for AI? Don't know. From what I'm seeing right now, I'm not seeing that there's any necessity for it, at least at this point. I guess I take it back. I don't know. Can you use AI to, or an algorithm of some sort to be able to monitor bad shit on the web? Yes. That might be a place where AI could have some benefit. Not Skynet, Wall-E. No. Skynet. No. Wall-E, Wall-E shows a very, in some ways, a redeemable end that humans can reclaim. I think we're pushing ourselves into extinction, Tom. So I look at it as, yes, they both follow the same sort of path. One leads to a okay place because humans start to discover, hey, we got to pull us back. And another one is that we leave into a destructive place. And I'm thinking it's more the latter. At some point, we are all disabled and the internet is our assistive device, if not already. Well, and again, it could be good assistance. It could be not so good assistance, right? I'd rather have robot overlords than President Cheeto. No. I'd rather, let's put it this way. I don't even want to necessarily, that's like, would you rather be shot or would you rather be run over by a car? I'd rather not die. No, I think those are both terrible. So, no, I don't want either of those. All this Skynet talk is making me want to watch T2. Now, I know, I feel the same way. Speaking of, does anybody ever watch the Sarah Connor Chronicles? If yes, did you like it or not? I'm thinking about it. I don't know. So I was fascinated by a show based on Terminator. And didn't Netflix do, or somebody in Japan do um, a TV series or an animated in about Terminator? I think I remember something on Netflix a while back. TV show was pretty good. Good. Also, T2 is redeeming due to Arnold of the Learning Computer. T2 was redeeming because Arnold wanted to be a good guy. Can't have another bad Arnold. But the concept, but T2 isn't only that there is redemption, but remember, as the series kind of progressed, we still see that Skynet is bad. Japan did an animated version, yeah, of Terminator 2, or was it a unique story? Terminator unique story. Yeah. Okay. Yes. I knew it was okay. I knew that they had done a series and it is a unique story. Good. Okay. I'm gonna have to try to watch that at some point. We shall see. Maybe one of these days I'll actually get a chance to watch the Sarah Connor Chronicles. I'm taking this to the top of the hour today. By the by. Training story. George, it's always death by SNU. What is SNU? By Snoo Snoo? Hey, Wally is the same thing. You only saw one axiom was redeems. There are a large number of axioms that probably went down the dark path by becoming gelatinous blobs. Yes. But what gelatinous blobs, bad. Being hunted down for being human, worse. Just saying. That one looks good. And this one doesn't. Ugh. What the hell did I do here? Nothing. Gelatinous blob is an insult at this point. Yes. I would probably not disagree with you on that one. Heavy amounts of coitus. Okay. Coitus. Love that word. That's one of my favorite words, by the way. So you're okay being fuel for AI in the Matrix? Am I okay with it? No, Tom. Why would I be okay with that? Are electric scooters the beginning of Wall-E? I think so. First of all, yes, let's talk about that. Electric scooters, electric bikes, it's not a bicycle. Just so we're on the same page. I think I might have ranted about this. Yeah, I'm sounding like the old man I am. Electric bikes are not bicycles. They're motorcycles. They have a motor and they're a cycle. They're a motorcycle. Matrix or Skynet. I think this kind of goes back to what I just said about being shot or being run over. They both suck if you die. Both seek out humans for death. They're both bad, Tom. I like, this is such a human human thing, right? That we like to, which is better or which is worse, when the answer is they're both bad, or they could sometimes be both good. No, they're both bad. But Matrix, you kept alive for fuel. Okay. But when you have no control over your own world, not good. Pay students a wage for their homework, especially where there are unique ideas. There is isn't that sort of the same concept, Light, as when colleges should be paying athletes who are bringing in huge dollars for universities because of their talent. I would say that if you're in a high school and you generate an idea that is, or college or wherever, but yes, if you generate something and the school capitalizes on it, yes, you should be compensated. I was waiting for an electric bike the other day, easier than taking the motorcycle over the pond. But let's call it what it is. It's an electric motorcycle. If you've been to the Disney World and seen the people using electric scooters, we're weak on the way. I'm missing that last part, Mason. And you live in a virtual world. Yeah. I don't want to live in a virtual world. I guess again, maybe some people are into that. I'm not into that. You know, I'm gonna, for better or worse, this is the life that I was given. You know, whether you believe that came from a from divinity, or whether that's just the biologicalness of human nature, right? This is where I am, and I want to live my life. And you know what? There are days when life is shit and it really sucks and I don't want to be in it. And there are days when it's like, you know what? It's glorious. You take the good with the bad. But the comment that I always use with my wife is, as long as, I'm on the plus side of life, have to be over 50%. Further over 50 is great. But as long as I'm over 50%, life is good. Good versus bad, that is. Okay. Electric bike, like motorbike. Motorbike, exactly. I just saw a police video that instructs rules of using electric scooters in the city, hand signals and all. And yeah, and they should be. Yesterday, I was actually at an intersection in Boston, and a scooter. It was a scooter, not an e-bike. But again, stoplight. Like, you're supposed to stop. You have the red. Blew right through it. Why? Because I'm a scooter. It's like, no, you're not. You're a motorized vehicle. And if you got hit, fucker, it would have been on you. I'd rather get punched by Optimus Prime and get isekai. I own an electric scooter, and I appreciate that you own an electric scooter. It's good for distances up to 35. Yeah, I think they're fine. I'm just saying, call them what they are. The concept of an e-bike, it's not a bicycle. Yes, it's got two wheels, which is the definition of bicycle, but still, it is a motorized bicycle. E-bike, stupid term. Let's see. Ayo, Light. It's just that, like, bicycles running red lights. Bike isn't a bicycle. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think that generally, one should be obeying all laws. I'm not a fan of bicycles riding on sidewalks. I think that's pretty stupid too, especially on a heavily pedestrian one. I'm happy to see, at least in Boston and Cambridge, man, the number of bike lanes, even in Worcester, the number of bike lanes, it's huge. Huge. Love it. Wow. Time that last 10 minutes just fucking flew. Okay. don't think I'm going to get to the last wheel. We'll see. Maybe. It's the second to the last wheel. Shite. Got glue on my fingers, and I felt that one. Sorry, guys. Give me a second here. This one kind of like didn't go well together. There we go. Let's see. Bicycles here break the rules like crazy. Bike refers to all types of two-wheeled devices. Ambiguity, the Devils, volleyball, emo Phillips. Ambiguity, yes. They go down the wrong side of the street. Gallbladder surgery. Did I just miss something about gallbladder surgery? It was Anthony, I think. Yes, it was. It was Tony. Yep, I was just making comment on his experience since I went through the same thing a few years back. Got it. Just looking through. There we go. Yeah, run red lights and stop signs. I don't know why America makes safety a law. I think crime should be considered like intent to harm, and everything else is part of living a good life. That might be a consideration. I'd have to delve into that one a little bit more light. About the wrong faucet for the bathroom, but it turns out the extra kitchen faucet I had would work. So now we have a sink sprayer in the bathroom. Nice. Sink bidet. Exactly. We need more bidets. Sink bidet. Come back here. Run away. Run away. So once again, it's funny. Now you put your magnifiers on, and right there's a little bit of a mold line that I missed. Really tiny. Would it be seen? Maybe not, but it's there. Crazy. Crazy. Funny enough, Ken, I drilled a hole in the cabinet, then used a decorative hook to hang it next to the toilet. Wow. Wow. I don't even know what more to say to that except wow. All right, my friends. Start winding it down a little bit here. So, always entertaining conversations with you folk. Yeah, it has been a week and a day now since the surgery, but today seems to be much better than it has been so far. Oh, that's great to hear, Tony. I'm really happy to hear that. It feels like, I'm assuming you're feeling a little bit better. It's like a little less pain kind of thing. $200 for a bidet. See, just think of the savings. Think of the water going everywhere. Anyway, I do enjoy the conversations we have. Even when Tom gets it all wrong, I still enjoy the conversations. Yes, Tom, I'm picking on you for a moment. Everybody gets picked on once in a while. I feel 85%. But wow, that's great. Sorry, Anthony. Plus, since it's a sink sprayer, I get warm water. Okay. I think I'm trying to expunge that thought out of my brain. Anyway, guys, thanks again for the conversation. As always, a fun time, right? Did I just do the wrong number? Oh, I forgot to write it down here. R6. Anyway, fun conversations as usual. You could do some dishes at the same time. That's a sanitary thought if I ever thought of one. Everyone says stellar number. Hope you get to the 120% and be able to skydive if you would like. Yeah, exactly. All right, my friends, thanks for being on this morning. I really do appreciate it. As always, good times, fun conversations, and always makes doing this thing in the morning so much fun. Hope you have a great day today, George, and everyone else. See you all tomorrow. Tony, you too, brother. Enjoy. Glad you're feeling better. Later, let's see. We got later, Nick, Ken, Mason. Have a good one. Mason, you and I are going to be touching base soon. Have a good Wednesday, everyone. Light, you as well. And there will never be any skydiving for me. Amen to that. All right, guys, go out there and brighten the world as much as you can. It is getting insaner later, Tom, than every day. It's just getting worse. It's up to us to continue to brighten this as much as possible. Do what you can to make somebody's day better, not worse. All right. With that, I'll be back on tomorrow. Same time, same channel. Enjoy the day, guys. Love you all. Catch you on the flip. Peace.